Member for Hughes has the call.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I was very pleased to hear some of the commentary from the other side, especially for the member for Bruce, Deputy Speaker, because I think he put his foot in it when he actually said that he is listening to preschoolers. The preschoolers are telling the Labor Party what to do on their energy policy, Deputy Speaker. And when you see that the Labor Party of this nation wants to copy the failed experiment of South Australia, even preschoolers themselves, Deputy Speaker, would realise what an absolute nonsense that is. Often we have, Deputy Speaker, we have debates about policy in this House where one side suggests something and we theorise about what might happen. We argue about it, about the prospects, the unintended consequences, and it's a debate about future policy, what will actually happen. But with Labor's policy of a 50% renewable energy target, we know exactly what happens. We've run that experiment. It's called South Australia. And we know what happened. It gave that state not only the highest electricity prices in the nation, it gave that state the highest electricity prices in the world. And yet the Labor Party members walk in here one after the other and they say, we want a 50% renewable energy target, just like South Australia, because that'll get prices down. Preschoolers couldn't make that stuff up. And yet, this is the policy that we are confronted with, recommended by those on the other side of the chamber. Also, Deputy Speaker, this motion, look, I've been here in the time I've been here, and I think you can put most members of the Labor Party down in two categories. One, either bald-faced hypocrisy, or two, especially during the last two terms of Parliament, why haven't you fixed up our mess quick enough? But yet, Deputy Speaker, this motion actually amazingly covers both of those. Now, for a member of the Labor Party that comes from Victoria to walk into this House and to table a motion that talks about a growing gas crisis in Australia, when his own state that he comes from, the Green Left Labor Party down there, have a total ban not only on both the exploration and development of gas, and that's both conventional gas and unconventional gas. When the Labor Party has that ban, when we've got the ACCC and even the chief scientist of this nation recommending that that ban be lifted and each exploration looked at it on its merits, and we have members of the Labor Party coming in here raising a motion about a gas crisis. And of course this whole problem goes back, Deputy Speaker, to when the Gillard government gave those initial expert permits, they simply didn't put a reservation for gas. Now, I'll acknowledge that our side didn't argue that very well at the time, and we should have. But that is the root cause of this problem. Now, I've also heard some nonsense comments during this debate about how the more intermittent energy of renewable energy you put into the grid, the cheaper the prices will go. But that is contrary to all the evidence. If we look overseas, the evidence from overseas, there is a clear correlation. The more intermittent generation that is put into a grid, the more intermittent solar and wind that is in a grid, the higher the electricity prices are. The correlation is almost perfect. It's not only here, and it's the same here with South Australia. And the problem is, Deputy Speaker, when we hear mindless comments such as renewables are cheaper than coal, Deputy Speaker, this is a disservice to our Parliament. You are not comparing like for like if you are comparing intermittent generation with baseload dispatchable generation. And any plan to increase the amount of intermittent generation into our grid and displace that from our current coal generations that's currently producing electricity at around $30 to $35 at a cost of $30 to $35 a megawatt hour can only do one thing, and that is to drive electricity prices higher in this nation. Now, I would hope that those members on the Labor Party, the break that they've had and the contact that they've had their constituents, and I'm sure that all of the members have had contact from constituents complaining about high electricity prices. I would hope they put their ideological biases aside, they forget about the green virtue signalling and try and capture that green vote, and they get on board with the coalition policy to get electricity prices down. Because, Madam Deputy Speaker, the only way we can get electricity prices down is to get those new baseload generation underway.
Has expired, I think. Member.